I like jazz a lot, but it's like a label for a type of music, but it's like a big umbrella of a type of music. So like everything from Dixieland to free jazz, you know, like you go to a jazz brunch, you should specify whether it's a free jazz brunch or a fucking Dixieland jazz brunch, because sometimes people get a little confused and end up a little tired at the end of the day. Just for my own self and for like anybody else who's interested in jazz records, I love jazz records. I have a lot of jazz records. And I'm wearing my Ben & Jerry's t-shirt because I like Ben & Jerry's because I like ice cream. I'll start with one of the first ones that I have here. This is just my autographed copy of Louis Armstrong's Hello Dolly, which is pretty cool. This says jazz, so this must be the right place. So I had that, I'm just gonna briefly just like go and quickly, because I got a lot of jazz records, and I'm not gonna try to talk about a lot of them, because you should check them out if you see something you like. Yeah, that's Chet Atkins and Les Paul. That's kind of like a cool record. There's some the Chet Baker, love Chet Baker. Count Basie's a cheap label. This was actually my dad's record. So there's like records in here that were my mom and dad's, who were casual jazz fans, like popular music fans, you know. These are the cheaper Count Basie's that were on a different label my dad bought. I think I bought that one, the Count Basie stuff. Some of these I haven't heard in a long time. That's the Art Blakey album, live album he did. There's Jobim. Brand X, Phil Collins, really great stuff. There's some like jazz fusion-y stuff. I just put jazz in a category, but like there's a lot of different types of jazz, right? There's just music. I don't know much about some of these that I've had and didn't really get a chance to listen to, and that's my goal, is to make this video and to note the records that I haven't listened to. A couple copies of that and Mulligan, Dave Brubeck stuff. Oh, the Charlie, that was my mother and father's record. Just great stuff too. More Charlie Bird. They like Charlie Bird, and I had some, and then I started to listen to Charlie Bird and bought some, and then Donald Byrd. No relation, different kinds of music, you know. This Donald Byrd album, I think that one's still sealed. Oh, nope. And then more Donald Byrd. I got a lot of Donald Byrd. Oh, the Kenny Burrell, John Coltrane album. I love Kenny Burrell. I love the Christmas Kenny Burrell album. Good stuff. Very cool stuff. This I just listened to the other day. It's Walter. Why did I look at this one? Oh, because my uncle plays drums on this. My Uncle Ronnie is a drummer on this album. And I have a bunch of his albums as well. There's some Coltrane stuff that I have right there. Let me put this one back. This is, I'm gonna go right back over there. But some of this Coltrane stuff, this is even a Coltrane bootleg. How do you like that? A live recording. Probably available now, but Larry Coryell, that's sort of the jazz fusion stuff. I like that. This is old school stuff. I like those album covers, like Kugat, Xavier. Have not heard that. You know, have not heard this. Let's see who's on it. Just folks I haven't heard. That's a good one on Pablo. Hank Crawford. That's a great. Oh, that one looks good too. See, all these records I want to listen to now. Of course, I've heard Bitches Brew. There's some. This is a record that one of my friends, Steve, gave me, and it's it says here, a great and very moody Miles soundtrack for a French film. And side 2 is cool tracks. I get goosebumps when Coltrane comes in on Stella. Yeah, that's great. You know, this was a beautiful gift from a friend, and to hear that's the little notes. You know, I love that stuff. Diodato, and then Jack DeJohnette, the drummer. Diodato's more like the Latin fusion-y, kind of acid jazz, you know, and I like acid jazz. Some of it's not great, but I like it. Paul Desmond, you know, the alto player for Dave Brubeck here, and I like these A&M records. I got some of the Wes Montgomery ones that are great, but there's been some criticism that they're too mainstream at the time. But you know what? It's good. More people heard them. My parents, who aren't, as I said, great jazz fans, but were more casual jazz fans, had those Wes Montgomery records. This one, Paul Weston and Joe Stafford. Looks good. There's a Dixie. That's old school. It's probably not whatever. Ella. Love Ella. Duke. Tanglewood. And Ella. Eric Gale, great guitar player. Earl Gardner. Oh, the Getz and Gilberto. Yeah, this stuff here is just really nice. And I got 2 copies of that. One was my parents. Again, that was very popular because she was very popular, and there was that that whole collaboration, which was very big in the mid '60s. It was the very cool soundtrack to and that album. That's just so great. Now, would this be jazz? It would be Latin jazz. Would it be jazz? It's like, I don't know. It's Brazilian, but like, it's a lot of different things. Like, categorizing music is hard, you know? Like, bebop. Hey, we're gonna play a music that you can't play. Ha ha ha. Bebop. And sure enough, you know, they couldn't play it. And they criticized it and called it Chinese music, which was supposed to be like a put down. But like, guess what? They picked up the put down and put it down. That's right. Look at this stuff. I gotta check that out. But the Diz and Bird records, Benny Goodman. You know, that, like, this is that. I'm getting confused. Benny Goodman in Moscow. And Count Basie and Benny Goodman. Dexter Gordon. That's awesome. That's a later Dexter Gordon. That might be kind of cool. Stefan Grappelli and Dave Grisman. That's a good one. There you go. You know, someone who played with Django. Jim Hall live. Well, Jim. Not a very exciting album cover, but hey, that's cool. That's probably what you wanted. Heath Brothers. Herbie. Herbie's one of my heroes. I love Herbie Hancock. For me, tripping in a cave, listening to that record. All right, this is sort of a cheesy record. I don't like this record that much, but what are you gonna do? Classic Herbie, though, this stuff here. And this is when it gets into that band that he had, Crossing and Chameleon and Headhunters, and all that stuff is like just incredible, you know, groundbreaking. You know, this album especially too. I love this album. This one sort of played, you know, I played this one out, and then I got this one, and I was happy with the sound, and then I found this one. Bam! Kind of stuff. It's really funny. Jamming with Herbie. Some of the earlier stuff. Oh, the second movement, and then yeah, Eddie Harris. This yep, Swiss Time. This is it right here. This Swiss movement. This was an incredible song that was just played as a one-off. Just an incredible groove. Just such a groove. I think that's Woody Herman. Yep. Oh, with a bunch of good players. People, Billie Holiday. This, I think, the album was my mom's. This is like an original Columbia Billie Holiday album. It's just serious, you know. Yeah. This is just this is a Verb, like later reissue, 1981. Kind of crappy reissue. This is just like more of that. Oh yeah, organ stuff, the B3 stuff, grooving with Richard Holmes and Gene Ammons on, but like just great organ shit like the Jimmy Smith stuff would have. I have a lot of Freddie Hubbard some of the CTI stuff, Freddie Hubbard. Great sounding records and great looking records and feeling. Like they have like this really cool design, these CTIs. I enjoy them, you know. There's another CTI that's nice. And then, wow, more Freddie Hubbard. I got a lot of Freddie Hubbard. More Freddie Hubbard. Freddie Hubbard in the cupboard. Freddie Hubbard. Freddie Hubbard. I have a lot of Freddie Hubbard. Milt Jackson, yeah, that's a good one. Vibes. There's some really great albums here. I'm just gonna go through all of them, but like nobody has to watch the whole thing of this video, especially me. This is great. Ahmad Jamal. Got to see him in Boston, and I posted a audio of the concert. But this is great. Ahmad Jamal. Ahmad Jamal. Ahmad Jamal. Ahmad Jamal. The best of Ahmad Jamal. Bob James. It's kind of like, I guess that would be soundtracky jazz, fusion-y stuff. This is kind of a weird one. Gordon Jenkins, I think, was the arranger for a lot of things, for Impulse and other record labels, but his wife wanted to sing the blues. So when you're a record producer guy, and your wife wants to do a blues album, you're like, okay, honey. Oh, you can tell on his face, he looks like he's like, all right, dear. Okay, I'll go with this. I'll go through this with you, just because, you know, I know. But it's okay. It's pretty good, you know. And she's talented. It's a bit on the sort of, I don't know, stiff side, I think, a little bit. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge. Hey, you know, who am I to judge? Anyway. Elvin Jones, my buddy there, I got to meet him, and he is one of the biggest influences on rock and roll drums, I think, than anybody. Jonah Jones and Jack Teagarden. This looks like a cheap collection here. Yeah, some of these smaller, cheaper labels, like budget label things. Quincy, you know, and this is doing his thing there. I have a couple of Quincy's, I think. Oh, this is just a nonsense collection for Scott Joplin. That's pretty cool. I was really into Stanley Jordan when he came out. I was really amazed, and I enjoyed the sound that he got with the tapping technique for music. I thought it was very piano-like. I don't think any of the heavy metal dudes were doing it, but like I didn't get a sense that it sounded like a piano until I saw him do it. And then I was like, this sounds good. And this is a great album. It's a little, you know, it's very trying to cross over a little bit, which is cool. Interesting, trying to cross over to R&B maybe, or rock and roll, or maybe get, you know, it's like, and it did cross over pretty well. This is a sealed record here. This is some New Orleans jazz. I don't know much about this, but looking at the folks playing it, okay, that's probably why it's still sealed. No offense, none taken. Stink it. Speaking of middle of the road, but like really cool stuff. Fucking great brass and like fucking just really good sound. Okay. Oh, Roland Kirk. But of older, this is from the 60s. This, I think this collection, I think. But yeah, look at that. But it's from it's a 1949. Probably, there's no information. Like it's, recorded between, holy shit, that's cool. You know, I didn't know I had that far. I don't know. I gotta go through this shit. I don't, again, like I'm not really sure. I haven't really heard this, but it has Airto and Ron Carter on bass, so it's got to be pretty good. This looks a bit on the cheesy side, maybe a little bit on. Oh, speaking of that, I sometimes want to talk about what's his name, George Benson, and like how is that cheese factor? How does that like take away from the music? If it takes away from the music, does it? Ramsey Lewis, like that's another guy. He had popular hits, you know. Ramsey Lewis had the popular hits with piano stuff, the In Crowd, that was the big one. And so he gets a little bit of a maybe from the real jazz critics, you know, they didn't like that kind of thing when you crossed over, and when and I'm getting to his stuff, his Wes Montgomery stuff, you know, that because he crossed over trying to like market himself and made some compromises in some of the arrangements, it's like, I don't know, it's strange. Anyway, these are conversations that I will have as a sidebar. This is more of the New Orleans music that I want to, I don't know, hear. So, yeah. So, he did popular stuff, you know, Hang On Ramsey, it was Hang On Sloopy, they did that. And there's like a lot of like audience participation, live kind of Trini Lopez feel to a lot of it. But a lot of it was funky as shit. Real funky shit. They got like some albums in the 70s and it just was really great. Anyway, Mahavishnu, yep, I'm you know, sort of in that vein. And then sort of the other things that people were very upset about in the jazz world, like a shirtless Herbie Mann, you know, push push. Okay. Sir, I don't know if you're on board with our marketing campaigns to make jazz actually like not, you know, implode. And this kind of thing is just, I just, this like really fascinates me here because this is still here. This is made out of some kind of velvety thing, and it's obviously a couple having in the middle of that, and there's like, but it's so bizarre. It's push push, and the most bizarre thing about this is that the great Dwayne Allman is on guitar on this album. So, what the fuck? Modern jazz quartets. Pounce. That was like a Berkeley teacher. Of course, the Pat Metheny stuff. I like Pat Metheny. Jimmy McGriff, the organist. A lot of Hammond B3 stuff. Bobby McFerrin. So sad. Like I really loved the Bobby McFerrin stuff, and then when the song came out, it was great for a little while, but it has become sort of an albatross around the world. You know, Don't Worry, Be Happy. We should have like listened to that song, but we didn't. We were like, hey, don't happy, be worry, and see what we got now. Speaking of that, we got some Wes Montgomery, some Miles and Monk. That's some good shit. Obviously, I love me some Thelonious Monk. And Proper Piece of Paper in the Modern Jazz Quartet. But we also have those Wes Montgomery. But you better not complain, which I love. Lord. You get in trouble with a man. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Midnight special, shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a heaven loving light on me. Yonder come Miss Rosie, how in the world did you know? By the way she went again from and the clothes. This is really more of a document for myself. The best of Pharoah Sanders, oh yeah. That's something I like for a little while. Eric Dolphy too, but it's like hard. It's a harsh instrument. George Shearing, like if you hear and you play free jazz, I love free jazz, but like sometimes if you're playing free jazz on a harsh instrument, it's a different journey. Jimmy Smith, yeah, fucking Jimmy Smith. This stuff, this is good stuff. What is that? Featuring Buddy Rich, Zoot Sims. Holy shit. Milt Hit. That's a very tough name for me. Milt Hinton. Bucky Pizzarelli. Yep. Buddy Rich. Holy shit. Lionel Hampton. Jesus. Wow. I didn't even know I had that. I'm going to check that out. The Jimmy Smith stuff, yeah. This is the one that meant a lot to me. The Root Down album, you know. And this one, it looks like it was $5.99 back in 1992 when I bought it. I bought it this is July 1992, the year of the Root Down. This is a very special album. It was sort of like it pissed me off when that band took it and took some of the samples, but that's the original. This is another good one here. I love Jimmy Smith. Oh, I've got another copy. I got 2 copies of that. One's like almost sealed, and it's got the record label stuff on it. Ooh, that's a cool label. Look at that. Our price, $1.57. Department 79. There's another nice. Oh, this is the modern ones. This is with Kenny Burrell. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, Soul Flutes. I think that's Herbie Mann. South Frisco. That's another sealed album. That's jazz. More Dixieland, I think. Shit, some Sun Ra. I have a lot more Sun Ra. Actually, I've got a lot of Sun Ra. I can't even show it all. I get a lot over there. What else we got here? Toots. Tatum Hampton. Yeah, it sounds like a hotel chain. No, Tatum, Hampton, and Rich. Incredible. All right, Joe Thomas. This is just, we're just getting in Stanley Turrentine. Oh, this is more of the CTI covers. Love that shit. Look at that. Glossy. That's sealed. That's a McCoy Tyner record. Oh, Villegas. Where have I heard something about him. Ooh, that's a nice one. Dinah Washington. James Lloyd Elmer. Yeah, fuck yeah. Good shit. Alright. I'll shut up now. But these are my records. I don't know if anyone's watching. I'm really just rambling here, but the weather report, yeah, we're aware of it. Another one there. Oh, the Larry Young, yeah, B3 player. This is just a collection of various people on the Guitar Player magazine collection thing. Oh, cool! Oh boy, I want to post this. I'll probably get in trouble, but this is fucking cool. This is like a collection about weed and drugs. Drugs are bad. Stay in school. California concerts. Hollywood Palladium. George Benson. Now we're talking about George Benson. I don't know. He's great, but he has that cheese factor that sometimes I cannot get over, and I don't know if it's just me being a snob or what the fuck is wrong. But this is a nice French. My buddy bought me this in France. This is a great collection. It's got Jelly Roll Morton and a bunch of piano players on here, including Errol Gardner and Art Tatum. Oh, fuck, Art Tatum. Yes, great shit. Teddy Wilson, played with Billie Holiday, backed her up. And then 13 more piano stuff. Hey, Ron Carter, Sonny Rollins, and McCoy Tyner. Wow. That's a good one. Oh, this one I sealed up. This one's, I think this one also... Yeah, my uncle is on this one too, and I don't know much about that. I gotta listen to that one. Boop. Oh, here's some of the ones that my uncle was on there. He was on the Hank Jones albums. Yeah, so yeah, all these he was on. I put them all. Just proud, you know, when you have like a family member who is like a musician and he's like making cool music, you know, it's like, holy shit. It's a good thing that you like grew up loving that type of stuff. This, well, speaking of that, this is like one of the worst things that he ever did. And I think it's probably among one of the worst things that that the label ever did, Atlantic. And it's probably one of the worst things I've ever really fucking heard. It's really bad. It's rock, very dramatic rock, but it's like, I don't know what the fuck it is. It is just very bad. And no offense, and a gig is a gig, but like, what the fuck, Uncle Ronnie? All right, what else? Oh, that was another album he was on. I've got to go all the way back here. I've got, it's getting dark out. Hank Jones, he was on that one. Trombone Spectacular. I'll go over these if you want. A lot of these are David Stone Martin covers too. Yeah, David Stone Martin covers. He did the covers for the albums that my uncle was on, you know. It's like fucking that guy. That is like on my 78, you know, record, the John Kirby. Oh, yeah, that guy is the same guy who did this, you know. Like that. That's the same fucking guy, David Stone Martin. And it's an amazing amount of work that he did in the jazz field.